If you like secrets, you're going to like what we do in our Trade Forecast Mastery Masterclass. Here I'm going to give you a look under the hood at one of the clinics, which is the practical application of the knowledge that we learn. It's a real one. This is a few weeks ago what we actually did with real students. And we reviewed one of the cycles that's repeating in history and how extensively it continues to repeat. I think you may find this intriguing.
So let's go back to our 1929 story. That's what it did here. That's what it did here. And then what did it do? Then it went strongly up from August 9th up until September 3rd. Our 323 bar thing went up to August 30th going up, so we'll have to see if it keeps going forward based on the slide technique. You can still find out what it did. Then it starts down from September 3rd to October 4th up till October 11th. It really didn't collapse until here, which was October 22nd of 1929 is when that's when it broke down. And the low came in November 13th. So it would have been October, November where the crash happened. And until then, it looks like maybe nothing. Maybe it's going up and down. It's not doing anything. All right. Now, let's go backwards. Let's look at what happened before this phase. So I'm going to try to line it up with our present market as close as possible. Okay, so we had a high here in our market on May 1st. They had a high here on May 6th. The day before was May 3rd, so it was very close. And the low, of course, the 31st, our low came in June 1st. So you had this downswing here. And prior to that, they had a low, we had a low March 24th. They had a low March 26th. And then, a nice little up move, that swing. And then we had a high on February, it's actually February 2nd, February 1st, but it didn't go anywhere until February 6th or even February 14th. Their high came in February 5th. And then you get this decline until March. You had this down move. This one was a little bit different, but it wound up in the same place and had ultimately there was a swing down to the same low. Then we had a rally from this date here from December 19th up until February 6th. And they had a rally from December 18th to February 5th. We had a sharp break here. They had a sharp break there. The high came in November 28th in 29. The high came in November 30th in our universe. The low came in December 19th. The low came in there December 17th. About 2 days off, right? So far, this whole year is a whole lot like our year. So let's go further back. Keep looking. I'm going to slide back a whole nother year so we can see a whole year at a time. All right, so where am I? That's December. Got to get December lined up with December. We're very lucky that it came out to be almost exactly 94 years. It could have been 93.8 years. The dates wouldn't match. The swings would match, but the dates wouldn't be the same dates of the solar year. All right, so let's go further. So we have our low in October, and our low in October of 22 came out on October 3rd. You see there's a clear upswing from this date here, October 3rd. October 3rd, 1928. You have the sharp rally up to December. And we had a sharp rally, which was the beginning of our bullish thing. Until then, everybody was worried about the market, right? Now, they were a little more bullish than we were, but the same structure. You had a high here on August 26th. They had a kind of a minor nothing, but it went sideways to down until December. And then we had a rally from June 16 up until here. They had a rally from June 18 until the equivalent was actually later. It was more like August 31st, right? Do you see how amazing that is? We're looking at 94 years ago. There's not one trader who was trading then, not one. Most people don't have the data. They don't even care about the data. It's not like anybody's creating this voluntarily. Let's keep going. So we have a high here on March 29th and a decline down to June 16th. Now, it wasn't exactly the same, but there was a high here on March 30th, another little high here. We had another little high here, and then it went sideways to down into June 16th. So this swing wasn't identical, but it's pretty close. Then we had a rally in our year in 2022, February 24th up to March 29th. They had a low February 27th up until March 30th. Okay. And that one looks the same. It was a decent up move. Let's go further back. So that's February. Is this right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So we had a high January 4th. They had a high January 3rd, 1928, and a low February 27th. We had a high January 4th, and they had a low February 24th. Now you have this section here in 1928. You had a low October 20th and the high January. Look at the pattern here. You had a low, it turns out October 14. And then there's a rally part of it right away, and then a decline part of it. The decline part of it this time was a little bigger, but you had the decline here also. And then a next wave up from December 1. Here we have a low December 8. But this one really didn't start going until December 3rd or 4th. Then you have another leg up to the high in January. So this isn't all that different, this swing up and this one. Then we have a high here in our present universe, September 3rd of 2021 until this last point before it took off October. This was September 7th down to October 20th. This is pretty decent. It was a down move that was there. It was a down move that was there. Look at the up move before it. The up move before it. This one came in June of 2021 up until September. This was June. The low came in June 24th. The low here came in June 21st. And then you rally. It was a decent rally here. There was a decent rally here. Still repeating, right? Let's go back further. Okay. This was where we were. Okay, so there's a high here, June 1st of 1927, a high June 1st of 2021. Then you have a nice huge up move here from February 1st of 2021 up to this June 1st. We had a low here February 7th of 1927 up until June 1st. It was off by about 6 days. And then you had a decline here. They had a decline. Also, the calendar, they at one time they had Saturdays included. So the dates, it's important to, that's why it's important to look at the dates, because the number of days between these things aren't always the same. December 9th high in 2020 and February 1st low. So here we have, this is December 9th. The high actually came in on the 14th. And then there's a low February 7th. Our low came in February 1st. But there's another low here, January 26th, January 27th. So that's within 3 or 4 days. You get this decline here. This was a bigger decline, but it was the same structure. Then you have an up move here from October 30th of 2020 to December 9th of 2020. And here, November 1st, it's off by 2 days, to December 8th, it's 1 day off. Then you get a breakdown from September 3rd of 2020 to October 30th, and they had the breakdown from September 7th to November 1st. It's, like 2 days off. 94 years and 2 days off. I mean, think about it. It's ridiculous. Let's go further back. Okay, so we have our crash in 2020. Let's see what happened back then. So September has to line up with September. Okay, now the dates are lined up. Notice what happened in our market was we had a low of our pandemic crash on March 23rd, 2020, and a massive rally to September 2nd of 2020. They had this low, I don't know if you can see it. The low came in right here, March 30th of 1926, and then a massive rally up until September 6th of 2026. The same massive rally in the same place. And what came before that, we had a crash. We had a crash that started here on February 12th and collapsed until March 23rd. They didn't have a crash, but it was a big break. It started on February 11th instead of February 12th. And it worked its way down to March 30th instead of March 23rd. The same sneaky little breakdown, right? So here we are. We're looking at February of 2020. We're now in July of 2023, and every major swing has repeated. So it's not just a recent event that's repeating. It's not just a guessing game, but that 94-year interval has been repeating for years.